coming in hot, Chicks. What's going on, brother, on a Tuesday?
Coming in hot. Stu came in hot, too. Stu wanted to hang because we got a lot to talk about. You see him over there?
Look at Stu. He's locked in. He's like, hey, what are we going to talk about? Votto?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Wait, let's start. You said you were going to go get some sort of Wagyu beef steak.
Dude,
for like
incredible.
$900.
Amzinger and I last night, and Harold ended up, he couldn't make it at the last second, but me and Amzinger.
Shocker.
Yeah. But, dude, Steak 44. If you come to Arizona and you don't go to Steak 44, you should be ashamed of yourself. But if you do go to Steak 44, what you need to order is it's market price. So you got to save up for a couple months. Get this steak. Market price, bro. But it's Wagyu filet. But you have to ask. It's not on the menu, bro. This is what I'm saying. It's the butcher's cut. You have to ask for the butcher's cut.
I get that.
And if you come with me, I pay. Because I insist. So, Chicks, you come out to Arizona. When we come, we'll be out here one day. I buy because I insist that you get the steak that I get. I told you when we had that dinner the one night when Vetter and Chelios and like Tommy and Rizzo, Hap, Ross, greatest dinner ever. I told Vetter, I go, listen, you're coming to Steak 44. I'm buying you're going to eat exactly what I tell you to eat, or you're not coming. That's what I said, or you're not coming.
Yes.
So I hunkered him down. So last night I told Amazon the same thing. Listen, we're going to Steak 44. I'm buying. You're going to eat exactly what I ordered. I ordered the steak chinch. Greg took the first bite, almost fell out of the booth. He started walking. I was like, that is the greatest steak I've ever had in my life.
Seriously?
You can't get it anywhere else but Steak 44.
How much is it? You don't want to tell me?
Well, it was $150.
Okay.
It's not bad.
I mean,
that's not bad, right?
If you're going to get after it.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to get after it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit. That's a legit price, but it sounds like it's worth. See,
James,
you go to a restaurant, do you agree with me? If I go to a restaurant and the food is fantastic and I have a really good experience, I don't care what the bill is. If I go to an expensive restaurant and the food sucks, then I'm complaining about the bill. You agree with that?
Bro, that's such a great point. I went out to a place in New York. I took the girls, my daughter, Sarah. We met a couple of her friends. I ended up picking up the bill. The food was terrible, and the bill was like $700. And I was kind of pissed. Like, it was the first time I wanted to complain about the spare rib. Carly got this like spare rib. I was like, I told her to get it. It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. And I was like, dude, this is a joke.
Yeah.
If you're going to charge me $700, it better be worthy of it. You go to Steak 44, bro, that $150 steak, you're going to come out of there and you're going to be talking like this going, let's get it.
So good. Perfect. All right. Somebody who's getting it right now, Joey Votto is back acting like a kid. His press conferences, it's like he said, I think the quote was, I feel like the day I got called up. This is a new regime, new team. Dude, you got to be psyched. Reds Hall of Famer. Tell me how you're feeling about your squad right now, dude.
Dude, I'm so excited for the Reds. I'm so excited for Votto, too, because I know that feeling of being hurt. Because when you're hurt, bro, you don't feel like you're part of the team. Like, you feel like you're a ghost. Like, it's a very frustrating place to be. And so I'm very excited for Votto because and also, too, bro, when you're the veteran with young kids, it rejuvenates you. Sometimes when you're on teams that aren't good and you're the veteran, you're like, oh, you're the face of the team, but you stink. You're like, oh. But when you're the veteran when you got young studs like they have with the Reds, and you come back, you're rejuvenated. You feel like that young prospect again, and all you want to do is contribute. And Votto comes up, dude. Didn't have a great rehab assignment, whatever. Blah. Comes up, boom, big homer. Puts them. Then they're down in the sixth. Bam, single up the middle, scores 2 runs. Place almost comes down. And what I love in Cincinnati, dude, the crowds are there. Yes. The crowds are feeling. That's how it was for us in '99. Same kind of feel. Veteran guys, a lot of good young prospects, and the crowds start coming out because the interest is there. I'm just fired up, man, to talk Cincinnati Reds baseball and be genuinely in and excited and go. Dude, only certain teams I really check the box scores with some interest. The Reds are one of those teams because now I can go down and what De La Cruz do, what McClain do. Hey, Votto's back. How's India hitting? You kind of go down the list and you're fired up. So, as a Reds fan, as a Reds Hall of Famer player, it's in my blood. Dude, I'm fired up to see Votto back.
I love it.
And good for him, man. This is his last year of his contract, too. So hopefully they win this year, get to the postseason, and he can go out on his saddle.
Yeah, that's really good.
Does that make sense? Does anyone go out on their saddle?
Yeah, I mean, you have the saddle on your horse. So you were going to say like on his white horse, but you just
that's what I'm saying.
You eliminated the middleman. But also, he gets to see, like, dude, did you see Dela Cruz the other night? One hopper to first, he beat it out. So freaking cool. It's so great.
Incredible.
And it's great to have that dynamic of the veteran guy who you've been rooting for and your kids have been rooting for, and now your younger kids have a guy that they can root for and a couple other guys, and they're pitching, they're hitting, they're playing defense. They've been playing defense really well all year for the most part, actually.
Can I tell you one thing too, bro? My last year in Boston, I knew it was my last year in the back of my mind. I just knew it. I just was ready to be done. Like, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, kids, being home, whatever. And I said to myself, I'm going to enjoy every day. No one knows this but me. But when I walk into that clubhouse, I know this is going to be the last time I'm putting on a uniform, if whatever, July 13th, 20th, June 20th, 21st. I knew those were the last days of my career. So I knew, like, I am going to enjoy today, whether I'm starting, if I'm on the bench, I'm going to be the best teammate I can be. I'm going to have fun, Chinch. I'm going to have fun. Sometimes in the big leagues, man, it's such a grind. And I know that sounds crazy, make all this money, but it is a lot of stress and a lot of pressure because it's pressure to perform every night. And sometimes as a big leaguer, you lose the fun of the kid game. I see right now with Votto, it just looks like he's like, you know what? I'm going to have fun this last year. I'm going to make sure that when I come to the park, I'm going to have fun. Because Joey Votto's a perfectionist, dude, and he has been his whole career. And sometimes he has struggled with having fun. I think these last few years, he's starting to realize this is my last hurrah. I'm going to have fun. This is a team to have fun on when you got young, exuberant energy. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm excited for him. Because I think when you saw him last night, you're like, man, he's ready to dive in and have fun, man. 3.5 months to go. Hopefully 4.5 with the postseason. But Joey Votto, man, go have a freaking blast.
Yeah. You know what he's been like? The past couple of years, he's like, when your remote needs new batteries, but you're too lazy to do it, and you got to keep smacking it to get it to work. And then that day you reset, you put the new batteries in, and you're scrolling up and down. You can get to Netflix quicker. That's Joey Votto. It's a remote control with new batteries in it right now.
Dude, there's nothing worse. And all our listeners know too. You open up the thing and you just rotate the batteries, thinking that they're going to work. You just spin them. You spin them like 3 to the right, 3 to the left, and somehow there's going to be a connection. Like, dude, go to freaking Home Depot and get the batteries.
I know. All right. Speaking who's got some charge in their batteries, dude, Miami is not going away. They are not going away, and they got a dude hitting 400 on their team. Let's go. Keep going with this guy.
Chance, who they beat last night?
Hold on, let me see the scores.
Because they won like 11-0. Like, this is a good team.
Yes.
Good
yesterday. What's today?
They've done a nice. Kim Ang has done a nice job putting this team together.
Oh, the Jays, dude! They boat raced.
The Jays. There you go. And what was the score? Like 11-0.
11-0, and there's your guy Barrios getting a loss there against a good pitcher.
Barrios scuffled, but dude, Soler hit his 20th or something. I mean, Soler's raking. Sanchez. Arise hitting 400. It's June 20th, dude. He's hitting 400. It might be his second or third 5-for-5 game this year. This guy flat out rakes.
Yeah, he does. He's hitting 400 on a dot. 5-for-5 with a run and 2 ribbies. Who else you got on there? You got some other dudes that are banging out there. There's some good players, dude. And what they needed, bro. That's why they made that trade. They got a rise for Lopez. Lopez is a good starter. They had enough starters. They had nobody in that lineup. Cooper last year was their all-star, and he was okay. He's not a huge bat that's going to beat you night in and night out. If Cooper's your all-star, you're in trouble in the lineup. Now that Soler's back and he's healthy, and Sanchez is doing what he's doing, and Arise sets the table, dude. That was a great trade with the Twins to get him. He won the batting title last year. This guy rakes. Yeah, and guess what? If they hadn't got on this, so they're 7-3 in their last 10. They won 5 in a row. Dude, the Braves have won 8 out of 10 and have won 6 in a row. And for you to be hanging in there with them, like, you got to match streak for streak, right? And they have, and that's why they're only 4.5 games back. They are matching the Braves streaks. It's super impressive. Absolutely.
Great point, dude. Because the Braves are going to win. So if you want to be in it, you got to match them. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
And it's tough to beat the Blue Jays 11-0. It's tough to beat anybody 11. It's tough to beat the A's 11-0, let alone Blue Jays are a good team.
That's true. And then back to your other old stomping grounds in Pittsburgh, there's one guy you like there that you want to talk about today.
Well, dude, a couple years ago, the Buccos made Henry Davis catcher, the first pick of the draft, and everyone was kind of like, I don't know about that, but they loved his makeup. They love what he brings to the table. They love his leadership. And recently, when he got called up to Indianapolis, he's a catcher by trade, obviously drafted as a catcher, but they've been playing him in right and left field for the last 40-some games, and because he's a good athlete. So he got called up. He got his first big league knock and his first at bat, double down the line. Parents are there. I just remember that moment, too. My first big league knock, you look up in the stands, there's your parents, a couple of your buddies, and you're like, I did it. Like, no one could take that first knock, Tinch. No one could take that first knock away from you, though. And you sit there on first and you go, I'm in the books. So if my career's over tomorrow, my kids can or grandkids can look back and go, hey, look at my dad had a knock in the big leagues. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so Henry Davis, good for you, dude. The Buccos need a jolt right now. I think Cherington and Shelty are hoping that he comes up and maybe gives some of that youthful exuberance to help get those guys going.
Yeah, the Pirates, proud of them for what they've been doing so far this year. The one thing they got to eliminate their full on streakiness. They'll win in chunks and then they'll lose in chunks. 2-8 in their last 10. They've lost 7 in a row. Perfect example of in this division. Cincinnati's won 9 in a row. You've lost 7 in a row, and now all of a sudden you're 3 games back, and you're like, "Whoa, what just happened?" Like, "Whoa,"
Right.
So
no, it's true, man.
They need to get a little more consistency, maybe a little more pitching or something. But like you said, they have that. They're in a good place. They're on an upward swing. Just I would say keep battling here and try to keep fighting. That division is still up for grabs, even though we love the Reds.
That division will be up for grabs all year long. The one thing you worry about is Milwaukee is better than they've been playing.
Yeah.
So I think they haven't made a run yet. So like if you're the Buccos, you want to get some games on guys if you're going to win this division because you want to get them while they're not playing well.
Right. Right. All right. Good stuff. All right. The last thing, and we promise we'll be doing this for the rest of our lives until we both pass. The
Ohtani Minute.
The Ohtani Minute. Okay. This is pretty cool. I actually texted Ken Rosenthal about how cool the Athletic did a player poll, which first of all I think is almost impossible to do, but they have a lot of guys at ballparks. But if somebody handed you a piece of paper when you were playing, or like, hey, can you fill this out for me and get it back to me? You'd be like, who are you? Get the frick out of my face. Anyway, but they somehow pull it off every year since 2018. The question for Ohtani: which team do you think Shohei Ohtani will be playing for next season? So they got 96 responses out of 100 baseball players. First of all, like I said, that's a huge number of players.
Huge response, yeah.
The Dodgers, 57.2% of the players said he would be with the Dodgers next year. 11.4% say he will be with the Angels. 7.2% say Padres. 7.2% say Mets. 6.3% say Yankees.
Wow. I agree they have the teams right.
I agree too. I do too.
Chinch, here's the question I want to ask you. What's it going to take to sign Ohtani? What's the number? Because I just had a number thrown out for me last night from Greg Amsinger, and I was like, and usually Greg's pretty good at this stuff. He analyzes it. Like, I was blown away. I just want to hear your number first. What's it going to take to sign Ohtani?
60 a year.
So what's the number? What's the big number? Is it 10 years, 600?
Holy Stromboli. Okay, let me start there. Let's say 10 years, 600. What do you say?
I think it's going to be 700 million it's going to take. I really believe it. I think it's going to take $700 million. 12.
Wow.
12 years. This is just me. 12 years, 700 mil.
Okay, but here's the problem with that. Like, who gets the opt? Like, are you going to have an opt out after 7? And if you have an opt out after 7, who's holds that? He's got the whole world in his hands. Like, any time, like you can't even sign us. Well, whatever he wants, he's got to get, and somebody's going to give it to him.
He's an international superstar now. First off,
yes.
Second of all, dude, he clearly is the best player in the game. Like, not even close.
Not even close.
And here's a great point. Really quick, is he the best player ever? Okay, so now mind you, I'm not saying Cooper's talent stuff. Is he the best player we've ever seen in Major League Baseball? I'm not saying over 10 years, 15 years. it's like you think about this.
In this
Alan
span,
Trammell-
yes. The answer is yes. In this span of time that he's played baseball, yes, he's the best player ever. I think.
I think so. I mean, I have to think he might be too. Like, just with the body of work for what we've never seen this and what he's doing. Like, so it doesn't matter if he goes into Cooperstown or not. We could look back and go, Shohei Ohtani was the best player ever.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so let's ask this question. If he's never pitched before, what number player is he in Major League Baseball right now? If you would forget, it's two different people. Shohei, the offensive player right now.
He's top 5 in baseball, probably.
He's definitely top 5. I would say him, Acuna, Judge,
Trout. Yeah.
Trout.
Yeah.
So that's how you have to give them the nod, because he's got a 3 ERA and he's not pitching well. He's not even pitching well, and he's got a 3 and change ERA.
Bro, he's on pace for almost 200 innings. So like he's on pace for 190 some innings, and only giving up 110 hits. Like, the numbers are staggering.
How about this? Who would get a better deal if they were two different players next year? Shohei the pitcher or Shohei the hitter? That's my next question. Now, mind you, you're not getting a DH. You're getting a right fielder or center. He might be a center fielder.
He's a center fielder, dude. He flies. He's a center fielder.
Yeah.
You might be getting a 40-40 guy. To tell you the truth.
Okay, so
I think
each guy gets $30 million.
I'm paying for it. I'm giving him 35, 40 mil as a hitter.
So there you go. So there's the math. It's true. It's like, I might undercut it. Like, yeah, you're giving each guy $35 million a year, each one. So now you got to give them both 7. You get,
but also your team's better because you're saving a roster spot.
Yes, exactly. That's the other thing.
Because you have him, you're saving a roster spot,
which is
for
how much.
Bullpen guy.
Right. And that bullpen guy this day and age is making $8 or $9 or $11 million at this point.
Right.
So you're saving the $11 million. You're still spending more than you're saving. It's like when Jess is like, "Oh, there's a sale at Kohl's," and we go to Kohl's and we still wind up spending $463, but everything was $9. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this was a sale.
The words.
Anyway, it's a great exercise, and I don't apologize for talking about this guy every day because it's fascinating to me.
It is fascinating
right now.
So much. That was the Ohtani 5-minute one.
Yeah, but that's okay. It was worth it because, dude, he's Michael Jordan right now.
He is.
For the game of baseball. I'm telling you, if I were in Major League Baseball, they should put a patch with his name on it on every team's jersey right now. Just sell the shit out of him. Seriously. Anyway, all right. So you got a busy schedule?
I got the draft. I'm going to do the MLB Draft Combine today. Fired up to see some of these young kids.
That's fun.
A lot of high school players here, a lot of college players. So it's going to be pretty cool to go break these guys down. So we're going over to Chase Field right here. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Do you know a lot of other are your buddies there? Does Jimmy Tomei go to this stuff and all those guys?
There's a ton of guys here. Tomei's not here, but Jared Saltalamacchia is here. Peter Borges is here. There's like a ton of players, dude, that are here. Eric Thames is here.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of other players that are here that are really good. I'm drawing a blank. I saw the email, but it's gonna be cool, man. For a lot of these, hopefully these high school players and college players grab onto some of these big leaguers and have conversations with them too, pick their brains. But
it's also a great time for scouting, and like those guys you mentioned, they're probably trying to get into the front offices and make their name in their post-playing career. I love a good combine, man. It's fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Did you ever do a combine? Did you ever do any kind of combine ever? Or like you've done showcases?
I did the McDonald's combo. Never a combine though.
I don't think showcases really started until after we our age group.
I never did a combine. I did obviously you do the Kansas City Roll or the Pittsburgh Pirate tryouts, and everyone would be invited to them. They'd be like 7-4-60. We'll see you later. I'm like, is this a track tryout? Are we gonna hit? I'm like, no, beat it. I'm like, what?
Nice. All right, we'll get after it. Tell all my boys out there I said what's up, man.
All right, brother. Love you, man. Hey, everybody out there, thanks for listening today. Boom. We'll see you tomorrow. Straight from Arizona and my nice hotel room here.
Get another
at the Hyatt.
More Wagyu.
All right. Love you, brother.
Love you.
Wagyu beef.